good against evil matchup. You like to see this the most. We have the blue Man of the West player, Sauron at the top side, versus the red Engmar player, RotWK at the bottom side. Game number 1, the best of 9 grand finale of the World Championship. The third time. We skipped the last year, we had it in 2019 and 2020. But it's gonna be like a tradition. We will have to do this now every single year. Okay? So Man of the West opening with a farm around his fortress and sending the builder forward for offensive barrack strategy, which is something we see quite often from the Man faction, but maybe on a map like this, it's gonna be even better, because the distance, the travel distance is quite big, as you can see. So having a barracks here offensively will give you the chance to pressure your opponent from a way shorter range, which is gonna be kind of hard to deal with, especially early game. Fortlex, thanks for the primers for 7 months, 3 months in a row. Welcome back, my friend. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Fortlex just resubscribed for 7 months. Ahoy.
Thank you. Okay, so we have mill opening Hall of the Kingsman, which is a bit delayed. So because it was like an economical opening, the man player will start recruiting some soldiers, I believe. You don't want to recruit pikemen. I mean, you can recruit pikemen if you want to creep this. Foxboy, thanks for the donation. Really means a lot.
Foxboy check tipped €6.18. What a generous pirate. Hey Shanks v gets dear. I don't like RotWK that much, but grand final is grand final.
True. Grand finals is grand finals. Thank you so much for the generous donation, man. Really means a lot. Okay, it's gonna be a pikeman opening for the man player Sauron. He's gonna creep this first and then group them later on with the soldiers and go for the first push. And it looks like RV doesn't have information about this, what's happening. So this is gonna be the vision control of RV. He will not be able to see them until they enter this area, which might be already a bit too late. Okay, he's turning them into the Gundabad orcs and pushing forward. We will have a barracks coming up for the second barracks for the defense. That's something we see more often lately, you know, barracks for offense, barracks for defense, which gives you the chance to keep up the pressure while maintaining your own stuff around your own fortress. So he was trying to creep this, but in order to creep this in a very good way, you want to lure him away from the lair, because otherwise he will be able to punch you in the face, which might... never mind. The build is tanky in this game. Soldier coming up next, and he will go for one more soldier. So the first push is gonna include a pikeman level 2 and 2 soldiers. The farm here is gonna be eventually taken down by the Gundabad orcs. There is one more coming, and Ave doesn't know what's happening, but he needs to assume things, because he saw the barracks coming up way too late. So he needs to kind of smell it. You know, if you don't smell it, the first push might actually be game-winning push. In the late game, I think it's gonna be quite rough. Heaven shall burn. Thanks for the primers for the first subscribing to the channel. Really means a lot. Thank you so much.
Heathens Warburn just subscribed. Welcome to BeyondStandards crew.
Thank you so much, my friend. Appreciate the support. Okay, 2 farms have been taken down. In a one-on-one situation, it's gonna be the soldier, which is coming ahead, of course, but it's a 2v1 situation. And would you look at this push, boys? Okay, level 2 pikemen and 2 level 1 soldiers, and Rallying Call is available. So is Warchant, and there are extrovers for the defense. He might need to buff them. He has 3 extrovers on the field, which might be actually enough to defend this, but you don't want to fight in the melee range. That's not the thing you are looking for. This melee is going to be definitely taken down. There is no reason, I mean, there is no way you can save this. That's why you need to demolish the time to deny experience points, power points, but also you get money back. So fighting here should be good for Ave, because the fortress is dealing constant damage, and during all this time, he was also able to deal a great amount of economical damage. After the first couple of minutes into the game, man player is up to 400 command points, his opponent is up to 450, but he's gonna also drop down to 400 command points after losing this mill. The soldiers, they were able to stall, but that's a huge Engmar army, lots of extrovers, but 0 pikemen. And you know what 0 pikemen means? That it means if man player decides to build up the stable and recruits 2-3 Gondor Knights, he can punish this so much, you know, so big. Ray J, thanks for the follow, appreciate it. Okay, 3 power points versus 2.5 power points. The man player was able to creep this, keep that in mind. He was getting some money, which Engmar didn't. Engmar was not creeping anything until now. And I think stable is desperately needed. Not only because of the current situation, the fact that Engmar has 0 pikemen on the field, but also because of the mobility you have with these units, giving you the hit and run potential, kite potential, trample damage. And mobility on a map like this could be quite rewarding, because there are a bunch of offensive mills coming up for Engmar, and they have 0 protection. So you can definitely get stuff done. 450 command points against 450 command points, it's pretty even in the command points department, and also in the power points department. He will now try to take down the barracks, which he can definitely do, because look at the army from Ingmar, man. He has pikemen, 2-3 Gondabad orcs, and bunch of extrovers. The barracks is gonna be 100% destroyed. Ingmar seems to be extremely strong in the current beta, but we are using at least, which might not be the latest beta, but it's a beta we have been using now for a while. And from what I have heard from the players, that man faction is the one faction which is struggling the most. But on a map like Jungles or Farharat, you have like definitely a late game potential. As you can see what Ave is doing, he's expanding lots of stuff offensively, which, you know, men can't really see, and what you can see, you can't target and destroy. So you get pretty much free money and free command points, which can be quite hard to deal with. It's a big infantry push from men. No archer range yet, but it's building up. Stable into the Gondor Knights. They have been reworked a bit. They are now cheaper, but they are weaker. And they made Rohirrim now more viable.
Must prevail.
But you need to invest first of all 400 for this. So basically the first Rohirrim is gonna cost you in total 600 more resources and bunch of time too. His command points kept. He cannot recruit any more units. They have almost the same command points available. It will be a huge man army, but look at the extrovers. You see, that's why you need a horse here, a Gondor Knight, which could easily and single-handedly win you the battle big time. There is zero counter. Ave is too greedy. Thank you so much for 20. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
My cabbages tip 20 euros.
My cabbages.
What
Thank you so
a generous
much.
pirate. You are a legend. Thanks so much for keeping this beautiful game alive.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you so much for the huge support to the channel. It really means a lot. Holy moly, guys. You guys are crazy today. Thank you. There comes the big war chant. But I think the man play should be able to defend this. The wolf packs are taking way too much damage from the fortress, you know, by trying to deal with the archers. I think the Gondor archers got buffed. Let's see if they can do stuff.
So much death. What can men do against such reckless hate?
Do you know what my cabbages is from? No, I don't know. What is this? I mean, Ingmar is taking over the game now, by the way, boys. 725 command points, but take a look into the minimap, please. This minimap is looking crazy for Ingmar. Like, legit crazy. This is unbelievable. I mean, what can men do against such a reckless seat, as Theoden would like to see? Talking about Theoden, I think Theoden would have been a great hero. But we have seen 0 heroes so far. Spam, spam, spam. We are talking about 12 of the Kingsmen in 1 Wolf Den level 1. Not even Black Numenorians are needed. Tier 1 units. Spam them until eternity. And you should be just good to go. It's Avatar, the last Airbender show. I haven't watched it. I need to watch it then. Okay. I mean, you know, the last thing is you don't want to fight here as man, but he has no choice, you know. He has to fight here, kinda. He has no other options. The enemy. I mean, that's a look at this army from Ingmar, boys. That's crazy, man.
Little man should have stayed
Ingmar
in one
must
city.
prevail.
Roga show you strength of trolls.
Roga, show you strength of trolls. Ingmar will prevail, I think, in this game. Look at the command point differential. 825 command points versus 475. That's a huge command point differential, boys. What the heck is this, man? This is looking rough. This is looking really, really rough here for men. But remember, in the following game, it's gonna be the other way around. It's gonna be here the red Man of the West player Ave, and here the blue Ingmar player Sauron. And the reason, and all of that, because there are like 7 different factions, and there are multiple different matchup scenarios, and they can be changed in, you know, in the map. You know, it depends on so many circumstances which are kind of important for this game, and for that reason, this is the best way, the best format to find out if it's about the player or if it's about the matchup. Look at this Ingmar army. Does he have War Chant? In a few seconds, and he will have also the Orc Summon in combination. It's like a whole population here. Bunch of range damage, pikemen for the front line, and bunch of cav for the trample. And this mana army doesn't stand a chance. Look at this. There comes the Orc Summon into the Wombo combo. Boom! War Chant on your face, son. And he's going ham, boys. Power points are rising to the sky. Look at the command points. There comes Arrow Wally. Beautiful Arrow Wally coming in clutch from the young man of the West player Sauron. He took out the majority of the army. I was trying to disengage, but he couldn't. There was one of the best Arrow Wallies I've seen actually from the Spellbook of Man. He chunked them. And of course, it's the World Championship Grand Finale. You don't give up. You try your best until the very end. And you will not see Sauron quitting until it's over. Stable level 1, Barracks level 2, and Archer range level 1. Maybe Rangers could be helpful, but they nerfed. So you need to invest now 650 for the upgrade to level 2. It used to only cost you 500, which of course is not that high. But for example, in this situation, you could see he was almost able to buy this. And now you need to wait. Like 150 resources when you are behind can be actually lots of money, you know what I mean? Oh, beautiful trample. Where are the tower guards when we need them? Where is the protection when we need them? I think Avi is messing up a lot here, but he's, you know, killing very valuable farms. Level 2 farms are so important to be kept protected, but he couldn't. He has no rebuild from the spellbook either. And Engma is towering up, you know, towering up. I know some people might say towers are lame, but you know what? They are allowed. You can build whatever you want, including a ring hero, including you can recruit Sauron or Galadriel too in this best of 9. Everything is allowed. I mean, Man is dropping down to 375 command points only. He's not only command points capped, but also he's broke. Like, he has no money in the bank. The pressure is real. The snowball advantage is crazy. You spam tier 1 units and that's all it takes. But now he has the transition into the Black Numenorians, which have been reworked in this patch as well. They have the Death Mask with level 2. You can buy this extra by paying extra money. But I think it's worth it. Especially now for Engma, he's so rich. He has 925 command points, and very soon, in about a power point and a quarter, he will be able to summon the giants for his siege potential on the fortress. And yes, Man can pick up the rebuild from the spellbook that can delay, but I don't think he will be able to kill the giants anytime soon. The front line, the protection for the giants is going to be big. The farm level 2 here at the bottom left corner will be found by Engma and destroyed. I mean, this is a domination and a half, boys. This is a domination and a half. I don't know what to say. This game is looking so good actually for Engmar. Let's see if he can continue like this in the following games, because this game is about to end. All it takes is one giant summon and you just go ham. 400 viewers. Holy, what's going on, guys? Thank you so much. What? Crazy. Thank you guys for tuning in, for watching, for following. Really means a lot. Giant summon is available with tower guards upon the field. Gondor Knights are going for a trample. He's trying his best to defend this, but Black Numenorians are so tanky because of the debuff. They also make you deal 25% less damage to them, which makes them also kind of good against horses. You see how many tramples you need. You need to trample them maybe like 7-8 times to kill them actually with your Gondor Knights. I think the trample damage from the Gondor Knights have also been nerfed. Maybe you need to hit him, but again, we are talking here about 1000 command points, whole population with giants summon available Engma faction versus a Man faction which is less than half power points from his opponent. 450 against 1000, and he has just not the power points, not the army, not the strength to keep up with this. Walter, thanks for the follow, appreciate it. There comes the giant summon and the siege begins, and yeah, he doesn't even have rebuild from the spellbook. He might get it in time, but how are you planning to kill those giants? Your Gondor Knights are barely dealing damage to them. He doesn't need pikemen because Black Numenorians are doing the trick. But the tower guard maybe can do it. Look, giant is kiting him. Giant is fast actually. Tower guard will be smoked alive by the Black Numenorians. He has the power points now for rebuild. Will he try to go for it? He has to, because 2 more hits from each giant and the fortress is going to be gone. One giant has been taken down though, and he's gonna call it now. He knows even if he defends this, there is no follow-up. He has 88 out of 450 command points available. That's gonna be the end of the game number 1, and Ave, the finalist of the winner bracket, gets a huge advantage in the best of 9. We have the red man of the West player, Ave Havi, the winner of the previous game. He was able to win as Engmar against Man. Now, let's see if he can win as Man versus the blue Engmar player Sauron in the game number 2. If he can win this, that's going to be a huge advantage.
We must join with Sauron. It would be wise, my friend.
It would be wise, my friend. I mean, if you can win this, if you can win any matchup back and forth, it kind of gives you a massive, advantage boost, and you can basically not mess it up anymore. Because we know some matchups are favoring the one faction. I don't think there is any faction that is 50-50. It's always like 55-45. You can't really make it 50-50 situation. Just like, you know, 7 factions, bunch of different matchup possibilities, and it depends also on the map. But I think men can win this. I'm you know, being honest, I think men can win this. Maybe the offensive barracks threat was just not the way to go. Maybe he needed to play a bit more defensively a bit, and then make archer range and stable, and, you know, defend yourself so you can harass better. You can build statues and towers too. You can put towers with ranges inside of them, which can be quite easy to counter this tier 1 units from Ingmar. Remember, I was playing pretty much with the Ingmar faction with tier 1 units, with Trandmaster. You had Extrovers, Gundabad, Oryx, Pikemen, but all of these units are very squishy. And building one single tower and placing ranges inside of that could actually give you so much freedom to do stuff. But it's not very good to lose everything you have, to have low command points, low resource income, while trying to deal damage. You need to find the middle ground of defending and putting pressure simultaneously. That's gonna be the plan. Double Rex opening here for the man faction. That's like the meta. We are coming, you know, in 2022 with man faction. No heroes required. All you need are soldiers and Rohan Spearman. Ingmar going for a very early Wolf Den, which means he can turn them into the Wolf Riders very soon. The first soldier being sent forward can be easily defended. All you gotta do is turn this dude into the Wolf Rider and you can just trample them. It's a very greedy move here from Avi. It will be only used for scouting. I don't think he will be able to deal economical damage, because by the time he arrives here, he's gonna have this unit coming out and he can just turn him into the Wolf Rider Battalion. Double Rex, Pikeman, Soldier combination. And there comes the first soldier push. So let's see the Ingmar vision control. He's gonna be able to see them now. Will he wait with this unit? He is able to see them now. So he needs to react now to this, right? Just turn him into the Wolf Rider and you can trample. But he doesn't pay attention to this area. He's paying attention to this area. Beautiful Wolf Rider here into the War Chant. You can see the pikemen were being sent to this location to creep, but they need to now go back to defend. The rallying call has been used, and I think this mid is going to be taken down. That's a very big mistake here from Sauron. He could have definitely defended this. The Wolfpacks are not very good against Swordmen. They are, you know, meant to be a counter to Pikemen, and with the rallying call they can definitely beat those Wolfpacks, no problem. And men also will be able to defend themselves. There's like the worst possible outcome of the first couple of minutes, especially when you are 1-0 behind. It's a very valuable mill, and he didn't have to lose this one. He could have definitely saved this one, definitely. Okay, you're gonna have more extrovers coming up very soon. Deal the door. Nah, he's gonna get in Volhab, no problem. Remember, the Volhab is gonna be so tanky. Sometimes you are lucky to snipe it at 0%, but most of the time it's just pointless to try to kill the builder when he's trying to build a Volhab, you know? And look at this one soldier go, boys. It's crazy. Like, who would have thought this? That the first soldier is gonna send forward is gonna deal such a massive damage. And all of that, of course, Avi did a good job, but I think Sauron messes up a lot. Like, he could have reacted to this easily. He saw them coming, Trandmaster was here. All he had to do is come back and turn them into the Wolf Rider, and he would have lost nothing. Nothing. Bad trample here into the pikemen. The Wolfpacks, they can eat those Rohan Spearmen alive, but there are soldiers protecting them. 450 command points versus 300. So Ingmar is kind of down. He has 2 mills remaining under his control, which is not optimal, because now you can't spam and can't expand at the same time. You can't. You just can't. You don't have the eco for this. Soldier battalion at the ready. Okay. I mean, this game is looking so good for Avi though. Look at this command point differential, 500 against 300. Again, if Avi wins this, it's gonna be a huge advantage for Avi. Like, winning a bad matchup back and forth in this format, oh my goodness. What's up, Erjan?
The day may come when the courage of men fails, when we forsake our friends and break all bonds of fellowship. But it is not this day. This day we fight. By all that you hold dear on this good earth, I bid you, stand, men of the West!
Stand, men of the West! I mean, look, all you need, guys. You see, also Avi did it in the previous game. Thank you so much for the gifted sub to AOW Luxus. Thank you so much, man. My cabbages. Thank you so much.
My cabbages, who gifted our Luxus a subscription. What a monster. My Cabbages Who gifted a tier 1 sub to our Luxus. This is their first gift sub in the channel.
He's gonna see 2 leggy. Thank you so much for the gifted sub, man. Appreciate it. And congrats on your gifted sub now, Luxus. He's saying 2 leggy and the other guy is saying fine for me. I mean, it doesn't seem to be laggy for me, but I'm not playing. Maybe there is like a command lag, you know, that's like the worst and the most annoying lag. When you're clicking but your units are not listening, it's like click loss, getting you click losses. It's like the most annoying because it's not visually seen. You cannot see this. But it's, you know, it's kind of, it feels like you need to click like 10 times, you know. 600 command points versus 350. Engmar is super behind. And that's not something you want to be in right now. I mean, he doesn't stop spamming infantry. No cav, no stable, no archer range. All it takes is soldier, pikeman, just like the way he did with the Engmar faction in the previous game. The spam is just too strong, I think, in this game. Just too strong that you don't need to find a transition. Because you lose, I mean, to be honest, transition is kind of not rewarding because the upgrade time from level 1 to level 2 is going to be not only going to cost you 300, but also time. And during this time, you can recruit even more units, you know? So I think the reward for making a transition, which costs you time and money, is not as big as spamming more units. You understand my point of view, right? He's gonna go for Eowyn.
It has been too long. Or not long enough.
It has been too long, but not long enough. I mean, Eowyn is actually a great hero, and I will show you guys why. Watch this. That's why. Because Engmar units are very vulnerable against those targeted spear throws. Because you can target the Trollmaster in one shot. It's like a very low cooldown too. You can use this, you can spam this. The only thing is you don't get experience. It's freezing for me constantly, Game Ranger, you're saying? It's now freezing for me too. But even if he quits now at this point, I think it's a huge advantage and a half for man. He won't replay this one. So Avi should be getting this win, I think. Even if Sauron can't, you know, connections was not good.